Why is it when something happens, it is always you three?
Believe me, Professor, I've been asking myself the same question for 6 years.
We're on.
It's the Mead for Metal. Are we? Are we, though? Are we really?
How did we feel today?
It's the Mead for Metal podcast. Oh, there they go playing that punk rock again.
Hey, are we on? Wow, that sounded really cool right there. Sounded very much not like my real voice, but it's me.
Dogs and Diamonds. You might be saying, wait a minute, you guys just played the shit out of them a few weeks ago. Yes, we did. But if you listen to last week's show, then you know, oh, well, we're going to get my brother Darryl here to hang out with us and have a good time here on the Mead for Metal podcast and talk about that because Dogs and Diamonds is one of many of his projects. How you doing, man?
Hey, nice to be here.
Good to see you, son.
Good to see you all.
Don't want to be that guy, but you do know, like, instead of a 15-hour drive, you could have called and we would have figured this out.
You know, there's nothing like looking at your ugly mugs across the table, having a, you know, sipping the finery that you provide. And,
Oh, yes.
And the company and the energy and all that fun stuff.
Well, we're fucking amazing people. You know?
Couldn't agree more.
You're goddamn right. Yeah.
That's right. We're all in agreement.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking a lot about Beneath the Poison Sky, which was the release you guys put out on Bandcamp around about 5 weeks ago.
It's been out about 5 weeks. Yeah, we recorded in December of last year and had to wait for some mastering to get done.
Well, that's the one thing, because whenever somebody says, well, we're going to get in the studio, and people immediately expect, like, cool, so I'm going to have something in hand in like 3 fucking months.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work that way.
No.
A little bit more of a process.
We can't push it out that fast.
All good things take time.
Yeah, indeed.
And we'll talk about some of the other projects that Darryl's involved in, but we have to get our get some things out of the way, as we commonly do on the show.
We got a little business.
Well, so the show we did a week ago, I think half that show, all we did was talk about our Durango vacation we took.
Oh, yeah.
And we still didn't even get to all of that, which leads me then to the first question, especially directed to Brandon. Do we have any interesting farting stories this time around?
Well, you know, you could have asked any other day and I would have said no. But I have to say yes.
Oh, the fart story. The infamous vacation fart story.
I'd like to open saying farts are always funny. You know, it's just really the situation, the length, the vibrato.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure usually the thing that most people are oppositional about is usually if you're trapped in a car with somebody.
Yeah, well, that's fucked up. You know, then you're being a dick. But if you're in a 150-year-old hotel room, I mean, you know, things get out.
And just to kind of set the stage a little, so Brandon and Ruben and I all had a room because it was a fucking expensive hotel. I was like, man, it'd be nice to go somewhere and have my own room. Not in that fucking place.
Not in the Strader, no.
Did y'all have to roll dice to see who would sleep on the floor?
No, because it worked out because one friend of ours, he's married, they had a room. Our friend Krista, she's married, they got a room.
Yeah.
So it's like there's 3 of us. Like, I ain't fucking
We ain't
dropping
married.
$1,100 for just me.
For
you know?
just a spot for you.
Yeah. So that was the case. And as we talked about, is that Ruben had a really good time. Some might say too good of a time. If you're looking at, what was that, Wednesday when we were up there, I guess? Because after everything's over, I thought, well, I need to go up and chill in the room. I need to go up, take an edible, listen to some APC, and just kind of chill out and then doze off. And like an hour and a half later, here comes Brandon. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, wait a minute, where the fuck's Ruben at? And he's like, I don't know, man. He was on his way to this other dive on his way back to the room. I'm like, oh, okay. And it's already by that point like midnight. It's like, fuck this. We got a busy full day the next day. I passed out.
Yeah.
As did I. It was lovely, but it hit a point. I was like, fuck, man, Ruben ain't back yet. I'm going to sleep. He's an adult. He's a big boy. He can take care of himself. And I I occasionally forget that I'm like in a room with other people, especially after I've had some Chardonnays and some of the local greenery and a belly full of food.
Yeah.
So I just proceed to unleash this. It had to be one of the biggest toots I've allowed myself to have in a very long time.
It was shocking. And it was right-
Duration, intensity.
Well, the thing is, I was dead
Depth.
asleep, but I wake up because I see the door come open, and it's Ruben getting back to the room, closes the door. Somebody fucking unleashes the Kraken, and then Ruben starts just giggling like a schoolgirl, mentioning something about how farts are always funny. And I had a couple of different takes on that because I hit it and I thought, wait a goddamn minute. If Ruben did it, that's fucked up. You don't go in and rip one like that and then laugh.
Yeah.
With two fellas asleep in the room. You don't do it. You just
Let's see if this wakes them up.
Although I will say, if that had been the case, it would have been an even more epic story.
And I thought, surely it can't be Ruben because that's fucking. I might have to get up and throw down with this guy if that guy did that. And I thought, well, the odds it might have been Brandon. Well, those odds are pretty goddamn good because that's exactly the fucking perpetrator behind that.
Yep. And then I heard everybody laughing, and I'm like, oh, fuck, that's right. I'm in a room with other people. Damn it. Now this whole image of me being awesome and clean cut is now destroyed.
Now it's just awesome and known for farting.
Yes, it is. It is now on my ever-growing business card. Flatulence champion.
That's it. So there's our random story about farting we didn't have room for last week.
How late into the vacation was this?
This was the first night.
First night.
Second. It wasn't Tuesday night. I think that was after a full day of all the other shit we did. I think.
No, that was went to that Roadhouse across the street.
Yeah.
Drank with Krista, John, and Ruben, and then I'm like, I'm out of here.
You did that on the first night?
That was Tuesday.
Okay.
I mean, technically it was Wednesday, but it was about 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was another story from Durango we just couldn't squeak out last week. So
couldn't push that out.
And we could not. We couldn't break that story like the wind. So
No, it didn't crack. It didn't crack right.
But so anyway, other things about farting. So Darryl, let's talk about not a good transition there.
I do have some stories that will never be repeated.
So diving into this before we get into the dogs and diamonds stuff, which for me that's the big draw because it's no fucking surprise here. Anybody's listened to this for any length of time knows I'm a sucker for punk music, and that's essentially you guys are modern punk.
Yeah,
that's not your only project though. And I'm not even referring to the times you're sitting in with a variety of acts from San Antonio to Houston, but your own band, which is a tribute band for STP.
Yeah.
Firecracker Smile.
Stone Temple Pilots tribute band, Firecracker Smile. Been doing this since 2021.
So the pandemic comes along, kills a shitload of people. You decide, fuck that, I'm making a band.
That's right. Yeah. We're all speed ahead. And it, it's had its ups and downs. Cover bands, tribute bands, bands of all ilks go through their member changes, right? We've had.
Is it bigger? Is it more of a problem with a band like that than say a band doing original material?
The mindset for a band that does original material and loves what they're doing is a little different in that regard. In that, very rarely do you want to lose people during the process.
Right.
I mean, you can, sure, people's egos or creative differences can get in the way.
Looking at you, Dave Mustaine.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah. But usually, cover bands and tribute bands and bands that are playing other people's music on weekends in bars. Sometimes, a lot of times, the musicians can be interchangeable. But for something like Stone Temple Pilots, requires dedication. You can't just especially if you're going to be a tribute band. Like there are other bands in the Austin area where I'm based that play Stone Temple Pilots, and there is one that actually says it's a tribute band, but they don't play it nearly like Stone Temple Pilots, and don't have the harmonies. The guitar player doesn't do the slide work. Um, the singer's moves are reminiscent of a go-go dancer as opposed to anything else.
Well then, all right.
So I won't call them out here, but I, frankly, if you're going to be a tribute band, be a tribute band. Like they don't even stage left and stage right are opposite of what the actual band
Right.
does. So it's like we from the get-go wanted, the only difference really is we don't look anything like them. They're far handsomer than we are, far more handsome. Yeah, tribute bands, it's difficult, and some people just don't have the. They're too used to the cover band mindset. It's like they don't want to contribute; they just want to show up and play the song.
Okay.
Right?
They don't want to do the vibe or like the
Yeah.
energy that it would bring as well.
I wondered about that myself because I thought, well, because I know the amount of work you put into it, which is a fucking
Yes.
ridiculous amount, by the way.
Yeah, fuck.
But somebody's got to fucking care, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm not saying nobody else does,
Yeah.
but then you'd have potentially a challenge of dealing with somebody else that's not as into it as you are.
Correct.
So therefore, you either look like a psychopath or they look like a sack of shit. One of the two.
Usually it's the second one.
Yeah.
They look like sacks of shit. No. For instance, we auditioned when my brother Dave, who by the way plays the bass much like Robert DeLeo, and I play the guitar much like Dean DeLeo. So that was one thing that is different from, anybody else. Two brothers from the original band, two brothers from the tribute band. Nobody else that I know of. And I did a lot of homework, like how many STP tributes are there, and why isn't there any in Austin?
Right.
There were none in Austin. There were people that would play like a tribute to STP by playing a set inside their cover band stuff.
Yeah.
Or hit the two or three most popular songs, of course.
Big Empty and Interstate Love song for you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. We decided from the get-go to pursue this like if we were STP, because we wanted to pay tribute, thus tribute band, right? So, so the tones, I can't tell you how many hours alone I spend still trying to tweak those tones coming out of the gear that I use. We don't really dress like STP. There's a little bit, but like for me, I don't look anything like Dean DeLeo. I don't have lovely curly black locks. I'm bald and I like it that way. So I look more like Dean DeLeo went biker, right?
There you go.
Yeah,
Think about
that. It's challenging. We auditioned 15 singers at the get-go.
Wow.
And our final one, we found one. He could hit the notes, but he couldn't really sing that well. I'm sorry to say, so he was on board for about a year and a half, and then due to unfortunate circumstances, him being flaky, being the primary one.
That is pretty unfortunate.
And I did run back some of that, 'cause you'd had some demo stuff, and I ran it back for Brandon. And Brandon, he pointed out immediately, he's like, they fucking sound really solid, but there's one point that's lacking. And I already knew what he's talking about.
Yeah. And the thing about tribute bands also, especially with a front man that is as powerful as as powerful as Scott Weiland was, it's really hard to find him. Yeah. So anyway, we went through a few other singers. I ended up going to San Antonio and basically kidnapping the singer from another STP tribute.
Nice.
Who was really the only guy that could do it, in my opinion. Had the vocal chops. There's a few things he struggles with because, Scott Weiland was just a beast.
Well, take enough heroin, you don't care.
I guess maybe that's it. I guess I have to make him, incorporate heroin into his diet or something. But
did you steal that guy from the Santone Pilots?
Well, now San Antonio Pilots weren't around yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were going by another name with they had a different guitar player, different bass player.
Because that's a tight setup.
Yeah. And I mean, that's one of the side things that I do as well. their guitar player recently had a baby with his wife, and of course you can't really go off with the fellas while you're dealing with newborns and things like that.
Which, by the way, I will point out right now, it's bullshit. I'm against it. I'm against it.
I can't be for something like that. I'm
so
sorry.
because of my relationship with the singer, he pulled me to do work with them as their guitar player, and now the singer or the other guitar player is back. So I've kind of pulled away from that a little bit. Unfortunately, their first show together as the original group was supposed to be last night in Amarillo, and it rained out, or there was some storms.
Damn.
And so they all traveled to Amarillo, and then they couldn't perform. So
well, Amarillo does that to a lot of people.
yeah. So anyway,
Sorry, that was a little prostitution story right there, actually.
We went through so total of 17 singers.
Damn.
15 in the audition, and then whatever the math is on the other two, and 8 drummers.
Wow.
That's fucking. That seems a little hot, right? That seems a little hot.
Those damn drummers. Well, we auditioned drummers, obviously, and I'm not even counting those folks. But the 8, we would have a drummer that could fill in, right? But they were coming from the mindset of a cover band. It's like, it's not really my thing. And to be in a tribute band, you gotta love the band that you're playing. And
that's half the idea, right?
yeah. So it's frustrating. And Austin, while it has a big tribute scene, everybody's in different bands, and it's hard to keep members because you don't want to oversaturate the area, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's hard for bars, they're in the business to make money, right? And so a group like STP, you don't want 3 sets of STP. And not even I want to play 3 sets of STP in a night, even though I love STP. And as a matter of fact, just a side note, since 2021, late 2021, he's the only guitar player I've been studying.
Wow.
Literally, I dropped all of my lessons with, some high profile folks, and just started studying Dean DeLeo. And I still do that, and, dive deep into each of his parts and really try to know what chords he's playing, what position on the neck, all that stuff. And it still makes me crazy, but I love it. And Firecracker Smile is awesome. And we continue on. We don't play as much just because we don't want to saturate the market. But what's really inspiring me to play now is to come back behind all the bands that say they can pull it off and don't. And so come back and remind people of what STP is really supposed to sound like.
Hell yeah.
As far as other people playing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So from that, God, it's got to be like just this massive shift from working with your own band, and you know what you want, and you're funneling through half of the population of Austin, apparently.
Yes.
But then to go to a really stable arrangement with Dogs and Diamonds. I mean, you're not a founder, but you joined that band.
Yeah. Well, Dogs and Diamonds. It was interesting because a few days after we fired our last drummer, a year and a half ago, something like that. I was just doom scrolling on Facebook, a couple of days after it occurred, and this ad, hey, looking for a lead guitar player. We're a punk band, Dogs and Diamonds.
Fuck, I don't need to sleep, right?
Yeah.
Sleep's for losers.
And I was like, I've never played punk. I've listened to punk. I kind of like punk.
Kind of act like a punk sometimes.
Sometimes I kind of act like a punk. Certainly look more like a punk than I do look like Dean DeLeo. So, I auditioned. It was with the founding drummer and also their lead singer, bass player. Now, originally when Dogs and Diamonds was together, the bass guitar player Dominique was just the vocalist.
Okay.
And they couldn't really couldn't really land on a 4-piece. They went through a lot of guitar players. And so for the drummer as the leader of the band, it was guitar players that were, the fucking wrench in the works. And I came along, they liked what I did, except, the funny, they didn't like my rig. I was using the same rig I use in the Firecracker Smile stuff, which is all, at this point, it's all digital. And, I use state of the art gear, and they wanted a raw sound. They wanted a Marshall JCM 800 is what they wanted,
right?
And of course I could pretend to give that to them on on the Quad Cortex I use, but they still weren't convinced. So after many adventures financially, I landed on some gear that they liked.
About a house worth of shit. It's all called music gear.
Yeah. You tend to collect that stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, Dogs and Diamonds, came along. I auditioned. They loved it. And then there was the process of learning all their material from their first record. They've got 2 records out now. And in that process, it was a 4-piece. But after 2 or 3 shows, the rhythm guitar player, backing vocalist, decided to step away. She wasn't really much of a punk rocker, and she, whatever. She had
Probably
stuff.
shouldn't be in a punk band if you're not. A punk
She
rocker.
had stuff going on, so she stepped away, and I ended up just stepping more fully into the role by covering both guitar parts. And I mean, she stepped away 2 days before a series of shows that we were scheduled.
Wow.
So I had to go back and also relearn some harmonies, and fortunately I can sing a little, not quite as well as the guitar player that left. But because it's chick punk.
Yeah.
And
right.
it's, I have to squeeze my nuts often.
I wouldn't call it bubblegum punk, but it's certainly down in a certain avenue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I'm already sold because the drummer's last name is Disaster, and I think that's got to clearly be the given name, right? That's the
Christian name,
right? Yeah. If you're into punk, Sally Disaster, you need to look up Fabulous Disaster. Was one of her punk bands based in San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
And they put out 4 or 5 records, and it's phenomenal punk, and she's an amazing drummer. I mean, really, she could probably she would probably deny this, but I would say she would be a good candidate to take over for Annika in Rush, because she secretly loves Rush. I found this out.
Well, how many drummers
early.
Secretly love? Come on, I don't know how much of a secret's really there.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But
bass players might like them some Geddy Lee.
I mean, most drummers that I run into have a deep appreciation for Neil Peart. But I was pleasantly surprised. We were actually going to go to the Fort Worth show on the first night. And then, of course, Mexico decided, nah, we want some money for your equipment before you leave. At least that's my theory. So many other people are blaming our current political structure for the reason they can't get their gear out of Mexico. But no,
I've been blaming politicians for 20 years. So
I can guarantee you somebody just wanted a little scratch.
Yeah.
And wasn't willing to let the equipment go. And here's this big internationally recognized rock band that I'm sure has deep, deep pockets. We're going to get some money.
Yeah, but it's all Canadian money. They ain't even that valuable.
Yeah.
You can convert to dollars.
There's a writer I know from Canada. He flew to Mexico City for that show because the ticket prices were going to be 1/3.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I guess it is what it is. And everybody wants to be the highest paid fucking artist out there. And especially if you've already paid your dues and retired already once and you come back well, I want even more fucking money now.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I don't know who to blame there. I mean, it's
Ticketmaster. That's always the correct response.
Yep, yeah, okay.
Ding.
That I'll go with Ticketmaster. Yeah, I tried to buy tickets to that first night in Fort Worth, and I just can't afford $1,000 a pop.
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous. And so anyway, Sally Disaster and I were going to go and check out that show and could not.
Oh, up I-35, Texas's most famous parking lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, Sally Disaster is amazing. Fabulous Disaster was an amazing all-female punk band. Toured the world, traveled, wrote, and made some amazing albums. And then our bass player, Dominique, she has been on, I think, this new record with us. This is her 23rd record.
Holy shit!
I mean, she is prolific, fantastic songwriter, great singer, good, solid bass player.
Well, she's got all the skills, because I would say that I've known a songwriter, and I use that term very loosely for this cat.
Yeah.
Who was like, hey man, haven't seen you in a while. What's been going on? It's like, oh dude, I just wrote a new record yesterday.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like, get the fuck out of here.
I don't. I don't have that capacity yet. Maybe, but she's spent her entire life. She lived in L.A. and New York and hobnobbed with multiple, industry heavyweights.
Sure.
And has played on a bunch of different records, and had some mentors that I won't drop their names here, but you'd say, wow. And so she's been around the block musically, and she's both of them together are just a firestorm. And,
hell yeah.
They make me crazy sometimes. I mean, they do make me crazy, but overall, Firecracker Smile is like this also. I'm looking for a family, a family of musicians that want to play together, that recognize how much fun it is to be together doing something you love. And, it's obvious the love that both Dominique and Sally put into the songwriting for Dogs and Diamonds. I'm still new, right? I've just, let's see, I've hit my second year. I think I've been with them now for like 2 years, 3 or 4 months, something like that.
Right.
Wow. And the rule was you can't do any songwriting until you've been in the band at least a year. And so we've just been too busy trying to put this out.
They didn't want no Pepper Keenan shit.
Yeah. We've been so busy trying to push this out, and some of these songs actually have a history. I mean, they've been trying to put some of these songs out for 4 years, 5 years, a lot of years, right? And they've never quite found the right guitar player. Anything like that. And so, they've gone from playing like 16 shows a year, which isn't a whole lot, but maybe for an original band in the market we're in, maybe that's doable, down to like 4 shows a year.
Damn.
Or 6 shows a year. And, they're both professionals as well. By day, they do other things professionally, much like me. So, sometimes it's just hard to pull it all together, and but we really need to play more to push this album, which I love. It's actually my first professional album. It was produced by a guy who has an armload of high level productions that he's done. I'll drop Toadies is one of them. He's recorded and produced.
Another fine product of Texas.
Yeah, and they got a new one out. I'm excited.
I think there's the 5 degrees of Toadies, and I think you can probably. I think that absolutely works out, especially if you know people in Texas.
Yeah. So we're really excited about the album, and trying to push it. And part of that is just getting out and playing in front of people.
Yeah.
And with workloads and just life in general, it's, unless you do it like 100% and you starve and you don't have families, it's really challenging to just give it 100% and play venues that are, actually venues are kind of tough to get into. The market in Austin is a little small for alt punk, but at the same time, it's not small. There are groups there are more bands than there are places to play, and that becomes very competitive.
Austin, Nashville, LA, all of it have that same kind of a thing.
Yeah. Fortunately, it's not quite like LA where you have to give the venue money to play. You still have to pay for production in most of the venues that you do want to play, which is sad. You would think that venues would just be happy to have people come in, but they want to pass that cost of using an engineer and all that sort of thing onto the bands, which, there's a part of me that gets that. But also a lot of very good punk bands, for instance, don't want to pay production fees.
Yeah.
But somebody's got to pay for, unless you want to play the basketball court behind a place and keep it cheap, you got to pay. There are venues that are great venues to play, but it's kind of like insurance for the band. That's the way I look at it. It's like, I want to sound good, I want to look good. Yeah, I'll pay for the engineer, right? And that way you get good pictures, you get good video. You look like you know what you're doing.
You've got I think a professional photographer that follows you around a little, right?
We've used multiple photographers, but a friend of mine who's a very good photographer does like to come out, and I treat her very well. It's like she becomes part of the band for the night. It's like I pay her for the work that she does. If there is parking involved, the band covers that cost. If there is, if they're on site for 3 or 4 hours, if we can squeeze a meal in, we will. That kind of thing. You treat them well, and people respect you, and they want to be there for you and take care of you. And so I want to take care of them.
All right.
That's my rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. They're making you look kick-ass. You got to give them a sandwich or something.
Yeah,
that's right. Speaking of sandwiches, we don't have LJ this time.
Oh, man.
But we are up against the break, so we'll when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more of Darryl's musical endeavors here,
misadventures.
Also, have we're gonna be talking about some shit that couldn't have happened to a better fucking person. Some shit that happened to Aaron Lewis, and we'll get to that. Yeah, but no LJ, but we'll be fucking right back.
Watch us make your food up fresh at Taco Bell. Taco Bell, can you feel your taste buds tingle? Taco Bell, Taco Bell. Watch us make you a burrito or a tasty enchilada. Tostadas and tacos made up fresh at Taco Bell. Put a smile on your face. Taco Bell. Everybody loves the taste. Taco Bell, 'cause we're the fresh food place. Taco Bell.
My skin with scars rise from the ashes again. In the battles I fight, no one wins. In the heat of the moment, I hear your name. Don't wanna fight.
So there's a distinction on this Dogs and Diamonds track right here that Darryl was pointing out. You'd mentioned a little bit earlier that the band wanted you to have recognizable gear.
Yes. Yeah. So I used mainly the Quad Cortex for the recording of most of this album. And, surprisingly, most of this album's guitar tracks are the rough tracks or the scratch tracks. Very little. Now, I wanted to go back and record everything, officially, and then add layers, right? Make it bigger.
But it's punk music. You don't do that in punk music.
I know. Yeah, they wanted they wanted raw, and there were moments where it was like, I can play that solo better. And he was like, the producer Frenchie, he was like, no, that was that. I like the energy on that. And I'm like, well, fuck. I could have played it better, but
listen to this energy I'm about to bring you right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was close to that.
Hey, man, stop nailing it on the first try.
Well, what can I say? He did challenge me on one of the songs, Collide. I don't know if we'll play it today, but Collide has, he he called it our jazz song, and I actually refer to it as one of the first prog punk songs. If prog and punk got together and knocked boots, collide would be the song.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah. But he challenged me. I played the solo. I played it exactly note for note the way I wanted to play it, and he was like, "I bet you can't do that again." And I was like, "I'll take that bet. Hold my beer."
Right.
And did, and played it note for note. And so what people will hear on the record is me playing that solo, the second track over the top of the first track. And that's one of the only songs that I double track something. But I, I was proud of myself, because I was like, "I told you. Look at what I just did."
Well,
And he was like, "Damn."
Yeah. You can pick it up on Bandcamp, Under a Poison Sky, Dogs and Diamonds. Do that. Here's now, and you can buy, I guess, through Bandcamp, you can buy singles if you want or whatever. I didn't realize singles are still, as far as physical media goes, it's still a thing. It is.
Yeah.
And in an odd universe, the Swiftie universe. So Taylor Swift puts out a new single. It's called "I Knew It, I Knew You." It's going to be in Toy Story 5.
Of course,
something else that I didn't realize was still around, I guess. But
Something for the kids.
yeah. So her fans had an opportunity to buy a physical copy of a single, and it arrives, and in the packing material, shredded material. And a lot of fans are looking through thinking it's like, "Oh shit, this is like Taylor Swift, like fucking lyrics and stuff like that and everything else." And it was not. It was not. It was actually, let me go straight to Loudwire with this.
Wow.
Aaron Lewis's new album, "Give My Country Back," won't be available till next month, but it's already making the rounds in the form of packing material for Taylor Swift merch.
Oh, wow.
Couldn't happen to a better fuck.
That makes me so happy.
But yeah, so he like, "Oh, look, there's my new," he posts this on Instagram. "Oh, look, there's my new album that hadn't even been released yet. Shredded as packing paper and Taylor Swift merch. Ain't that some shit?"
Wow.
Aaron, yeah, that is some shit.
We can finally agree on something.
It's called the good shit.
The good shit. Yeah.
Take my country back, huh?
Wow.
Oh, well, Aaron, it's about time for you to learn that billionaires get to do what the fuck they want to do, huh?
Yeah. I figured maybe her fans would, what are they called?
Swifties.
Swifties, that's right. Yeah, I figured all the Swifties would try and tape all that shit together.
I tried to get Taylorites to take off. It just never did.
Right. And it would come out as, like demonic materials.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just
But-
resummoning
so-
the Necronomicon.
Yeah.
So Aaron Lewis tells USA Today they learned about the whole incident from his team, but doesn't know why it happened.
Wow.
I got a few ideas, Aaron.
Yeah.
So he
People
says,
haven't bought
"I don't
it.
have any social media." Because why would he? The fat fuck. Anyway, I didn't have it when I was younger. It's never felt important to me. I've never even had a MySpace. So I don't see anything of that type of stuff. And when this was brought to me, I was just like, "What is going on? This is just weird." He's so fucking unlikable. It's bizarre to me that I once kind of liked Stain a little bit, a little bit.
I loved that band when
I
I was in
liked
high
him.
school.
I liked him, but now it's like, no, fuck off. Unless you like name a new lead singer,
Yeah.
and you're going to tour again heavily or whatever.
Wow.
AA Bondi ain't doing much from Verbena, but yeah,
There you go.
Just saying. Just
Wow.
saying.
So I wonder what the message, what was Taylor what message was she trying to
It was the
impart?
label. The label did it. The label's like, nope.
We hate you.
We've got too many units of this shit. Ain't nobody going to buy it. Let's shred some of it.
Wow.
Imagine them like trying to piece all together, see if it's album lyrics for like a Taylor
That's
Swift new
just
album. It's like, this is a whole
crazy.
bunch of pro-gun bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a problem. Anyway, he's going to put out Give My Country Back on July 17th over the Big Machine label group. Incidentally, the label that signed Swift as its first artist and released the pop superstar's first 6 records. Yeah. The Stained frontman previously praised Big Machine for standing by him amid the backlash to his 2021 anti-Semitic, conservative anthem, "Am I the Only One?" I'm not wrong. Even if he sees if he and his label boss Scott Borchetta don't see eye to eye, but yeah, that's
That's funny.
Yeah. So I found out today, I learned Aaron Lewis, actually some of that shit he does put out that he calls music does have a purpose. And that's to keep Taylor's precious merchandise from getting too jostled around.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
You don't
right.
want that
That's
vinyl
right.
getting fucked up in the mail.
That's right. Yeah. Protect the T-shirt.
Yeah. Or the single in this case, which is even fucking funnier.
That's good. Wow.
But yeah, so there you go, Aaron. Tip of the cap to you, you piece of shit.
Hope you enjoy.
This is the moment where we all sip beer.
That's it.
That's right.
There's a moment everybody sits back and goes, fuck, Kevin going to do Kevin shit now, ain't he?
Kevin's being Kevin.
Moment of silence for
goes.
beer.
So let's go ahead and talk about that president, huh? No. So, yeah. Goddamn. Yeah, so there's that. I felt like I needed to do some kind of metal news of some kind, even though
Sure.
it's just Aaron Lewis. I'm actually not even sure why that hit the metal stuff. Why is Loudwire even carrying that? Because,
And Loudwire is kind of steeped in rock shit.
Yeah.
too.
They
Yeah,
probably
but
just thought it was a
Aaron
great
Lewis
story.
is a country artist. Cuntry. He's a country artist. Taylor Swift is a pop artist. I don't know why that shit ended up there, but hey, that's okay. Cool in the
And-
gang, man.
Stain hadn't been that great in 15 years, so
It got shredded. That's the important thing.
that at the end of the day, that single looks great.
If Stain had to hire a new frontman, and I know I'd floated A.A. Bondy just because I like the guy, and he isn't really doing anything right now. I don't know that he could do some of the growls and shit that Aaron Lewis used to do, but who would you hire if you were management for that band and had any influence whatsoever? Who would you hire to be the frontman of Stained? And that's only working with an assumption that Aaron Lewis would meet some fate that he deserves, or fucking quits, or gets fired, or
Choked
goes
on a chili dog
goes
to death.
jail. Yeah, that's something.
Shit.
The front band of Cold would be all right.
Who?
It's another one of those fucking bands that were like Stained in the early 2000s that made depressing music. Like, think 40 Watt Sun's depressing. Well, no, they don't hold a candle to Cold, and Stained for that matter. But the sing style of Aaron Lewis is odd. It's mumbling, trying to breathe.
Yeah.
You know, it I would say fuck it, just fold up shop.
Okay.
Don't just quit doing Stained. Get a different singer and do a different band.
Well, that's why I was asking. I thought, oh man, who would probably be a good fit in that
Eddie Vedder.
situation? You're fucking not wrong. I hate to say that. Eddie Vedder is the right choice.
I'm going to go with Madonna.
I think that'd be all that. Man, that'd be a fucking wow. That,
Definitely be distracting.
You know, it
Yeah.
would sell a few records. Maybe.
I don't know.
I'd like
you
to
know,
hear Madonna sing some Aaron Lewis
I don't
solo
know.
stuff.
What's Gavin doing?
Gavin.
Rossdale?
Yeah,
Oh, he's. I think he's still doing Bush.
is he?
I think they just put out a new album.
Yeah,
Well,
you know,
relatively
I guess
that
Bush really
sounds
knocking it out of the
familiar.
park
Yeah.
these days, huh?
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
Well, Bush don't sound like Bush of the '90s.
There's
That's
that.
true. That is
Well,
true. Yeah.
very very little does.
Yes.
Shit, man. Okay, so we've talked at length about Dogs and Diamonds. We've talked a lot about Firecracker Smile. You're involved in a lot of other shit. We'd mentioned San Antonio Pilots earlier.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a Stone Temple Pilots tribute from San Antonio, and I don't know if you were here, but I was telling Brandon that my time with San Antonio Pilots has probably come to a reasonable end. I was just there to fill in while their guitar player had a baby. I may be back. They've actually talked to me about being part of a 2-guitar band with them, which would include like Velvet Revolver and stuff.
Oh,
like
so
that.
they'd be looking at expanding then.
Yeah, learning more material and working with them. So I've got no idea if that's gonna be something that works. I love STP. I love playing with those guys. But it's not like playing with Firecracker Smile.
Right.
That's my baby. I
That-
have an LLC for Firecracker Smile. It's a legit business, even though it doesn't do the kind of business that I want it to do. I mean, ultimately what I wanted from Firecracker Smile was there are many tribute bands that do a great business and they tour a lot.
Right.
And while I'm not ready to retire from my day work, if I could figure out a way to get 4 other guys and, a small technical group to follow me down that road, and believe in it enough. And that's the problem. I mean, it goes back to one of the original questions I was asked here, was everybody has to be on board.
Right. Everybody's got to be on the same page.
Board, and people have lives and they get wrapped up in how scary something like that is, jumping into a van or whatever. But, one of my favorite tribute bands, I've got 2, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Back in Black. Back in Black is
Clearly AC/DC.
Sorry, Kevin.
Yeah.
Clearly
That's
an
okay.
AC.
They don't have that fucking little pervert Angus Young in there.
But,
so
but
that's all right.
the singer for that tribute band actually auditioned for the real band. When they were looking for singers.
When they got
They
Axl Rose.
decided to get Axl Rose in that shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, it does from a money standpoint. It kind of makes sense, but also from a money standpoint, it doesn't make sense.
I'll say it again. Tell it your children. The wrong young died.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Malcolm.
Yeah. But anyway, what I admire about them is, they have a booking agency that takes care of them. It's treated almost like they're the band. They have professional looking websites, and there are people that take care of that stuff for them, and they just play. They just learn the music and they play and they tour. And what's great about what they do is I think they might even have day gigs, but they'll fly into a town. The booking agency will book the shows, which is a horrible prospect.
Right.
It's so hard to book
I was
shows.
gonna say there's no way that's a great thing.
It's horrible. It sucks. So anyway, the booking agency books, and they fly into a city, and they do a show. And if there's nearby cities on that weekend, they'll fly in on a Thursday, do a Thursday show, then do a Friday show, maybe a Saturday show, and then they fly back to their lives. A couple of these guys live in California, one lives in Chicago, and blah, blah, blah. And they all get together. Now, Back in Black, I believe all of them live in Dallas.
Yeah.
And they tour, constantly, but it's always, we're going to do these series of shows and then go back home. And I mean, we're not trying to sell new records or anything like that,
Right.
And we're not Stone Temple Pilots. So, for us to do something like that, to be involved in something, that's the level I wanted to get to. But
I would always dive into a lot of the bands you'd share stages with, because a lot of those at one time were pretty regular.
yeah,
Learn to Swim was one of them, and I'm a little bit of a weird, far off fan, even though I've never seen them live, because it sounded like the shit that they had that you can find on YouTube sounds really well put together.
Learn to Swim, a Tool tribute, phenomenal players. And they recently went through some singer change, and then they got back their original singer and went through a drummer change. So it's something that happens, right?
Yeah.
You change out musicians, but those guys have been around. Learn to Swim has been around like 9 or 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And in various forms or another. But yeah, we've played with them. They came from the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Tool was a 90s band, quote unquote. And so we've played with them a few times. Sometimes it's challenging. STP is one of those bands that, they can go hard or they can go soft or they can go pop. And, audiences, if they're going to see a Tool tribute, and then a Foo Fighters tribute, and then an STP tribute, it's almost like sometimes that mix doesn't work as well. And STP is always going to open a show for a Tool tribute, because we're just not as heavy.
Right.
Yeah. Tool, different kind of move.
Yeah. And we've played with a Metallica tribute and, some other stuff. But because, STP, Interstate Love Song you might as well call that a country song, right?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, the guitar is typically, well, no, I mean, there's country and rock and stuff. But anyway, you know where I'm going with that. It's not like, it's an interesting blend. And the way you fix that, the way you achieve the ability to be authentic in that moment is play the shit really well.
Yeah.
And connect with the audience. I mean, that's, so many musicians do not connect with the audience. If you're a local guy coming up, and that's challenging. You have to look at people. You have to play the material well. You have to strike a rock star pose every once in a while.
You lost me at having to look at people. I'm not
Yeah. I mean, you have to connect, right? And even if you're wearing sunglasses, one of the things I need prescription glasses, but I'm not going to wear my geeky everyday glasses on stage, right? So I have to get like, sunglasses that kind of look cool, but they still, there's.
Well, it rounds out your Rob Halford image you got.
Oh, why? Thank you. Sans the beard, But I have the wristband.
Yeah.
You got the gauntlet, the bracer.
So clearly, obviously, you don't undertake what you do without being a huge STP fan.
Huge.
What's your favorite STP record? The number one.
Oh man. Whoa.
That's
a really you're putting me on the spot.
And I know the Core is one that I would love to name. It's like never name a band's first record because that's almost a fucking insult, right?
Yeah.
My problem is I love the commercially available or accessible Purple is
I'm just gonna have to go with Purple. I mean I love them all.
I would say Little Vatican Gift Shop, but but it's weird enough. It's like I can't pick that one.
Tiny Music.
Tiny Music.
I'll listen to the whole thing. I'll listen to the whole thing. And the challenge about Tiny Music is the guitar tones. I'm still chasing those. I am still chasing those, and it makes me crazy. And actually, for me at least, the hardest solo in our set is from "Tripping on a Hole in Paper Heart."
Okay.
And I.
Oh wow, yeah.
I it sounds easy, but it is not easy. And everybody I hear that's in a tribute band that some tribute bands, which is a mistake, don't even play that song.
Ooh.
But you gotta play the hits, right? I mean,
I'd asked Darryl once. It's like, hey man, I said, y'all are throwing down on kitchenware candy bars now, right? And he goes, yeah, as soon as we can get like a full fucking orchestra, because that's kind of who this guy is. He's like, I ain't going to play it wrong, and I'm out here like playing it through a Mel 9, going, that sounds about right.
Well, I mean, we have played that song live, and we can pull it off. But there's you go on YouTube and you look at Stone Temple Pilots doing that song, and there's always, it's like Sour Girl. It's a huge hit, right? We would love to play Sour Girl, but what we have to do is, if we decide to play it, is we have to strip it way back, an acoustic guitar, a bass that's kind of in the background, and it's not the produced thing that you hear from the record, right?
Yeah. Well, number 4 was it, to put in the kind terms, it was not a commercial success. Is there anything off of that you guys play pretty substantially? Okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't have the list in front of me.
I mean, he's lying. No, it's.
I think, yeah, right. Yeah. No,
you ain't no band at all.
At one point.
Ain't no Daisy.
Right. Yeah. At one point, I think we were playing like 5 songs off that record.
Damn, that's a lot, actually, for.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad record, but damn it, it's just, it doesn't carry the same weight.
Well, I mean, you just can't beat Core and Purple, right?
That's a high bar. Yeah.
Yeah. You just, I mean, and on the anniversary of Purple, we played the whole record, but we also played, if you went to see us live, we played, hits from, I mean, we do like regularly like 8 songs from Core, and then, 8 songs from.
And there's
Purple.
like 8 on there.
Yeah. 10 or 12,
right.
I mean, yeah. So, but people, when they go out to see STP, that's what they want.
Right.
We play the B-sides and stuff, and you can kind of feel the energy of the crowd like dissipate a little bit, and then we have to come back to Core or Purple.
Right.
What
are your thoughts on the Chester 2 years or so that he was in STP?
So I have a love sort of like relationship, not love hate. but love like. When Chester first, you watch YouTube. I watch a lot of the live stuff on YouTube, and I watch when Chester first came on with the band. You could really tell he loved the band. That much I know, but he was struggling with some of the material. He would actually, to my ears, he would sing flat a little bit. But then later tours, he was spot on. Definitely a different thing. I think Chester was ultimately, I don't know if I'll catch heat for this because I don't know how many listeners
We've only got like 8 listeners. You're good.
Yeah, okay, all right.
And we love all of you.
Chester was just slightly better than Scott Weiland as a singer.
Yeah.
Okay. Now Scott,
personality-wise, yeah.
amazing singer, amazing singer. He's so chameleon-like. He could sing just about anything, but live, especially when he got deeply into drug use,
right?
He couldn't quite hit the notes.
We'd hear some of the stuff he'd be doing coming off the board for like Velvet Revolver or whatever, and be like, "Shit, this guy's terrible." That kind of thing.
And I'm sure it was a lot of that was just drug use.
Yeah,
right?
but if you're going to have a front man for a band like STP, Scott was the right one, though.
Scott was the right one. He was the original. Now, I'm going to say, and this might even be more shocking, Jeff Goot, out of all 3 singers, is the better singer.
It doesn't surprise me because if you're going to go out and hire somebody, like, we're going to get the fucking right guy for the job this time.
He can hit all the notes. The hardest song that Scott Weiland had to sing is from the first record, Piece of Pie. It was always the quote unquote hardest song to sing.
Really? Over like Pop's Love Suicide?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pop's Love Suicide is challenging, but it doesn't. With the other song, you have to sing very powerfully, and there are a lot of high notes and extended high notes, and you have to have your shit together. Piece of Pie is not easy to sing. But Jeff Goot, when he went in to audition, they asked him what song he wanted to sing first, and he was like, Piece of Pie.
I would like to take the hardest fucking one you guys have.
That's like when Robert Trujillo auditioned for Metallica. It's like, well, they asked him, well, what do you want to play? It's like, oh, let's play Battery.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So right then and there, he proved himself, and he can hit all the notes. I've seen Jeff Goot 2 or 3 times now with Stone Temple Pilots, and he's not the front man that Scott Weiland is or was.
There are a few that are.
You are.
Name fucking anybody still alive.
And I go back and I look at the live material that they played with Scott, and even on an off night, Scott was so on.
Yeah.
He was a beast. And it's hard to find that. In a tribute band, it's the singer. Especially with an STP tribute, is the key component. So even though I love to work with our guy from San Antonio, we can't play as much because he lives in San Antonio and he's in another STP tribute. So what San Antonio Pilots and Firecracker Smile has decided to do is not to crowd each other out.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. We love STP. That's the primary thing.
Well, that's why you guys do more shows in Houston than say San Antonio.
Yeah. So we will, Firecracker Smile will, if at all possible, we'll avoid playing San Antonio, and San Antonio Pilots will avoid playing Austin. But the challenge is there are better shows in San Antonio than there are in Austin.
Well, there's a lot of life in San Antonio I like quite a bit. I'd like Austin too, so what the fuck are you going to do? But we're about out of time, sir.
No.
Oh, my goodness.
We are. Closing thoughts, Dogs and Diamonds, brand new record. Man, this is your first, and God damn it, I'm not going to reveal his age, but Darryl's older than I am, and I'm an old fucker.
I'm an old fart.
And so this is for your first professionally put together record, and the process and everything else. I hope you're proud of it because I like it. I really like it.
Totally proud of it. There were moments in the studio when I wanted to strangle everybody.
Well, shit, man, I have those moments myself, and that's just in traffic.
But that's part of the learning curve, right? It's like all these folks that were in the studio with me were like, oh, this is just how it is, but for me it was like you told me to play a different solo, and I've been playing the solo for a couple of years now, and I'm in love with the solo, and you're asking me not to do it? Well, fuck y'all.
Starting to
I'm
sound
going
like,
home.
Sound like the guy with the red stapler from Office Space.
Burn the building
Yeah,
down.
but I'm very proud of the record. I'm proud of my work with Dominique and Sally, and I look forward to more adventures with them because they're awesome.
Badass, man.
I look forward to following those adventures, man.
Fucking 15-hour round trip drive. We appreciate it. Again, you could have called, but hey, man, it's always good to hang out.
Yeah, great
Face to face is cool as shit.
Great to see you break bread with you guys, and I understand some
Absolutely.
enchiladas in our future.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now let's fucking put June away. This has been a big one.
It's been a big one.